Did Saul disobey God by going to a medium? Was Saul disobedient in other ways? How was the transfiguration very different? Let's begin in 1 Samuel 28. Was war between the Philistines and Israel about to take place? And it came to pass in those days that the Philistines gathered their armies together for warfare, to fight with Israel. And Achish said to David, Know you assuredly that you shall go out with me to battle, you and your men. And David said to Achish, Surely you shall know what your servant can do. And Achish said to David, Therefore will I make you keeper of my head forever. Because God refused to answer Saul's prayers, did he look for a medium? Now Samuel was dead, and all Israel had lamented for him, and buried him in Ramah, his own city. And Saul had removed from the land those who were mediums and spiritists. So the Philistines gathered together, and came and camped in Shunem. And Saul gathered all Israel together, and they camped in Gilboa. Saul saw the camp of the Philistines, and was afraid, and his heart trembled greatly. So Saul asked of Yahweh, but Yahweh didn't answer him, either by dreams, or by Urim, or by prophets. So Saul said to his servants, Seek for me a woman who's a medium, that I may go to her, and inquire of her. And his servants said to him, Behold, there's a woman who's a medium at Endor. Did Saul have to reassure the woman that she wouldn't be harmed for her illegal activity? Then Saul disguised himself by putting on different clothes, and went, he and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night. And he said, Consult the Spirit for me, please, and bring up for me the one whom I shall name for you. But the woman said to him, Behold, you know what Saul has done, that he's eliminated the mediums and spiritists from the land. Why are you then setting a trap for my life to bring about my death? So Saul swore an oath to her by the Lord, saying, As the Lord lives, no punishment shall come upon you for this thing. Who did the woman claim to have seen, brought back from the dead? Then the woman asked, Whom shall I bring up for you? Bring up Samuel, he said. When the woman saw Samuel, she cried out at the top of her voice and said to Saul, Why have you deceived me? You're Saul. The king said to her, Don't be afraid. What do you see? The woman said, I see a ghostly figure coming up out of the earth. What does he look like? He asked. An old man wearing a robe is coming up, she said. Then Saul knew it was Samuel, and he bowed down and prostrated himself with his face to the ground. What frank conversation did Saul have with this manifestation of Samuel? Now Samuel said to Saul, Why have you disturbed me by bringing me up? And Saul answered, I'm deeply distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God has departed from me, and doesn't answer me any more, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I've called you, that you may reveal to me what I should do. Then Samuel said, So why do you ask me, seeing the Lord has departed from you, and has become your enemy? And the Lord has done for himself as he spoke by me. For the Lord has torn the kingdom out of your hand, and given it to your neighbor David, because you didn't obey the voice of the Lord, nor execute his fierce wrath upon Amalek. Therefore the Lord has done this thing to you this day. Moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel with you into the hand of the Philistines, and tomorrow you and your sons will be with me. The Lord will also deliver the army of Israel into the hand of the Philistines. How did Saul react to these words regarding his death? Did Saul actually see anything? Saul fell full length on the ground, paralyzed with fright because of Samuel's words. He was also faint with hunger, for he'd eaten nothing all day and all night. When the woman saw how distraught he was, she said, Sir, I obeyed your command at the risk of my life. Now do what I say. and let me give you a little something to eat, so you can regain your strength for the trip back." But Saul refused to eat anything. Then his advisors joined the woman in urging him to eat. So he finally yielded and got up from the ground and sat on the couch. The woman had been fattening a calf, so she hurried out and killed it. She took some flour, kneading it into dough, and baked unleavened bread. She brought the meal to Saul and his advisors, and they ate it. Then they went out into the night. What are some major differences between this and the Transfiguration? Does a witch glorify herself, whereas the Transfiguration glorified God and his Son? After about 8 days after these sayings, he, that is Jesus, took with him Peter, John, and James, and went up onto the mountain to pray. As he was praying, the appearance of his face was altered, and his clothing became white and dazzling. Behold, 2 men were talking with him, who were Moses and Elijah, who appeared in glory and spoke of his departure, which he was about to accomplish at Jerusalem. Did Saul disobey God by going to a medium? Was Saul disobedient in other ways? How was the Transfiguration very different? You decide.